Today, guys, I will be talking about something very personal. It is something that I went through physically, mentally, that's really important to me. I learned over time, and this video is going to be all about self-love and just basically appreciating yourself and loving yourself more than anything else. I just really wanted to share with you guys how I found the love of my life, basically how it became successful. People always think that if you're in a long-term relationship that everything is perfect, and that is not the case. I just really also wanted to share the struggles that I went through before I finally found the person that I want to marry and be with for the rest of my life. And just disclaimer, guys, I'm not always gonna be right. I'm not saying that what I went through, what I believe in is completely what you're supposed to do or something that you're supposed to support. It's definitely up to you if you wanna take my advice. I'm not always gonna be right, and you don't have to necessarily follow or believe what I'm saying. And I'm just speaking my mind through my experiences in life. That's why I just really wanted to share it with y'all to bring some kind of maybe awareness to the things that you're possibly going through. I just hope that I'm able to bring some kind of positivity and hopefully bring some kind of light. So as far as everyone know, my background, I've been with my husband now for about 13 years. We've been together since we were younger. You know, I went from a girlfriend to a fiance, now a wife. Those things did not come easy. Everyone always thinks that if you're in a successful relationship that you've always had it right. And honestly, that's really not the case. It took some time to get where I am. It took some time to figure myself out and basically learning what to do from right and wrong, loving myself, learning how to respect myself, and just be able to move forward without any second thoughts. I know it might sound really cliche. Everyone might be like, okay, that is not like the best advice ever because you hear it all the time. But honestly, knowing your worth and loving yourself. I know you guys hear it all the time about self-love. It couldn't be any better. You will never really find anyone who will respect you and love you like the way you deserve if you don't know how to love yourself. I've learned this through experience. When you love yourself and respect yourself enough, it truly shows and it reflects in your relationship. You are literally gonna be unhappy if you are depending your happiness on someone else. Because first you need to be able to embrace yourself and just like love yourself and be okay with yourself before you can actually open up and love someone else. Being in a relationship doesn't necessarily mean that you let go of yourself and you lose yourself. And if you lost your individuality, you'll just feel lost. Honestly, you're literally depending on that person to make you happy. And you can't really make someone change for you. That person is gonna naturally change for themselves. You can't really expect someone to be like, okay, if you love me, you need to change for me. That's not gonna work because that person has to want to change for themselves. That's why individuality is so important, which is vice versa. Like, you shouldn't have to change for someone else. You should just always be the person who you are before you met that person. As much as people say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna change for this person. No, you're doing it for yourself. When you come to think about it, when you really want to get to the middle of it, a person is changing or will change for themselves because they don't wanna be that person anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, I'm really gonna change for this. Or maybe you could be a part of that change, but a person will clearly never change unless they want to. It starts from within you, so you can't expect someone to change for you. I know there's times to where Hung would even say, oh, I like it when you dress sexy and when you dress a certain way, and I will take what he likes into consideration, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna change everything for him. Oh, okay, no, I'm gonna dress the way I want, and if sometimes I want to do it for him, then okay. You're wearing too much makeup, or I don't like you with makeup, or I don't like when you wear this. I just feel like that's so wrong because you should be able to do what you want. It's your own face. It's your own body. You should be able to do things the way you're comfortable. You can't lose yourself in that. I understand making your partner happy to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like, if it's to a point where it's stressing you out, that you have to do your hair like this, I have to do my makeup like this, I have to dress a certain way for this person to make them happy, to keep them happy, so that they stay attracted to me. If you have to work that extra hard for that person, you're losing yourself. Like, do not lose yourself. Like, it's okay to do it for them from time to time, but if you're constantly having to prove yourself to that person, and you're literally changing everything else for that person, that's not right. That's not healthy. That is not healthy at all. One thing that really helped me is basically being upfront with what you want, your goals in life. Just basically lay it out there. Are you comfortable with living with someone, living together, marriage, bring up kids? When do you want it, or do you even want it? Those are really huge factors when it comes to relationships, and just being completely brutally honest with what you want. You have to be upfront, because if you don't tell them what you want, first of, you're not gonna get it, and second of, it's like lying to that person. You can't be in a relationship without any plans. Like, there's gotta be a plan, you know what I mean? Whether we're gonna get married, or we're gonna live together, or we're gonna have kids, or we're not gonna have kids, or those are just huge factors that you have to be completely honest with your partner. So I read this quote, which really clicked to me. Most women want someone who's already put together, meaning someone who's already successful, who already got things figured out. Although I don't see anything wrong with that, so don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, because I honestly believe in self-worth and, setting your standards on what you want in a person. Like, let's be real, no one wants a scrub. If you find someone that you're able to grow with and basically build a foundation together, that is like the most rewarding feeling in the world. But if you want someone who's already made up and who's already like settled in life and this and that, I mean, by all means, there's nothing wrong with it either. But as some of you guys might know, me and my husband literally started from nothing. It's such a great feeling knowing that we've done things together and we succeeded together. So in the past, my husband had a previous relationship before me that was pretty toxic as well. I believe that person has said to someone that my husband is not gonna go anywhere in this life. Basically, he's gonna be a failure. Guess what? That's not true. By any means, I'm not like bragging or anything like that, so please don't get me wrong. I just hope that I'm not stepping on anyone's toes about that topic, and I seriously mean it coming from a good place. Moving on. I've been meaning to get to this one. Okay, so I really had to get my hair up because I was getting really hot. This one, I'm really gonna get into it, okay? Just because I truly believe in it. Stop breaking up and getting back together. Legit. Stop it, okay? If you've broken up multiple times and getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, talking shit, and just being toxic towards each other, if it's that toxic and it's that messy from the first time that y'all broken up, and you guys are constantly just like cursing each other out and basically, getting into the mess with families, each other's families, friends, and everyone's getting involved, and it's just a freaking ridiculous relationship, get the hell out. Get the fuck out. I'm telling you this right now, okay? Toxic is toxic. There's gotta be a reason why it didn't work out the first time. Whew. Another reason that I really want to clarify and get to, okay? This is why I put my hair up for this. Once a cheater is always gonna be a cheater. I know most people maybe some people have like a different belief in that, but for me, coming from my own experiences, if you cheat on me, deuce, I'm gone. I'm gone. Like I said in my disclaimer, if you don't believe in this, if you honestly believe in your heart that people change and someone will never cheat on you again and you get back with that person, by all means, do it. I'm not gonna stop you. I've been in a relationship that constantly cheated on me, and I eventually left that relationship and met another guy. And this guy had the freaking nerve, okay? Had the nerve to tell me, well, you let blah, blah, blah cheat on you, so why can't I? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you guys know how I felt when I heard that? Like, how dare you even say that? I'm going crazy when I heard that. I just went ballistic. I let go of that person and I was done. Okay, so this topic I just really wanted to lay out there. Okay, I look kind of crazy, but whatever. Okay, just ignore it. I'm like really hot right now talking about all this stuff. If you're in a relationship that is physically and mentally abusive, I will explain the difference between the two. If you're with a person who's really aggressive and who's constantly like, if you get in a small fight, pushing you against the wall or like yanking you, pulling you in your arms, honestly, it starts from there. I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I'm gonna be completely open with you guys, coming from my own experience. I was in a super abusive relationship in the past. Nothing's perfect. Okay, that's why people automatically assume that, you know, I've always been this person. It took some time to get here. I was a hot mess. If the person you're with is constantly abusive, and abusive meaning mentally and physically, there's two different things. Physically is when they're laying a hand on you, yanking you, grabbing you, pushing you against the wall, choking you, stuff like that. I don't want to set any more examples, but y'all get the point. Or if you're with someone who's mentally abusive, who is constantly putting you down, talking down on you, talking down on your family, talking down on your friends, and just someone who would tell you, oh, if they say things like, you're never gonna find anyone else like me, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not all these things that they expect you to be, I'm telling you this right now, you need to go. Okay, I'm honestly a firm believer of a guy can only take too much. Being an abusive relationship doesn't necessarily just happen with girls. It happens with guys too. I've realized in life that no matter what happens, always have respect for that person, because if you don't, it will be a shit show. If you're the kind of girl that hits guys, my biggest advice to you right now is stop, because a guy can only take too much, and one day they will hit you back. And when they start hitting you back, that's when hell will break loose and you're just gonna sit there with your mouth wide open like, what the fuck just happened? So don't be abusive to the guy you're with. Vice versa. Same with guys. Just don't be abusive. There are times that you can't control your anger because this person really pissed you off. Go take a walk. I don't know. Go to Target, girl. Go drive off somewhere. Go meet up a friend. Go have lunch. Go have coffee. And one thing I also learned when it comes to finding the right person, pay attention to how they treat their family and their loved ones. Because if he treats them really well, girl, you've hit jackpot. I didn't just magically get here. It took some time to get where I'm at. To be in a relationship that's stable, that I can fully trust, that person respects me, and we're both loyal to each other. It took work, it took progress to finally realize what you deserve. People always assume that, you know, I've always had it together. I got things figured out. When you're in a relationship, you know, from the very beginning, you can already sense if it's right. Most of the time, women try to ignore like the red flags that they see. And I'm telling you this right now, when you ignore those red flags makes you believe that everything will work out, it's gonna be okay. Those red flags turns into a toxic relationship. I know there's a saying to follow your heart, and honestly, I don't necessarily believe in that saying just because it took me to where I'm at right now. I honestly believe that if I kept following my heart back then, I would probably still be stuck in the same position, be in a toxic relationship. Because sometimes our brain is more powerful than this. Because when you follow your heart sometimes, it tends to get hurt. Honestly, most of the time, this knows what to do. Our brain knows what to do. Our brain knows what's right from wrong. Our brain knows those red flags are just not right, but we tend to ignore it. As a normal human being, most of the time, we ignore it. Sometimes, actually not sometimes, most of the time, listening to our hearts can actually complicate things. That's literally one thing I've always learned. I know in this video it was pretty deep. You guys learned a few things about me. I just hope that if you are watching this and you are going through a really tough time with your relationship, I hope that I was at least able to open up your eyes. And if you're still in the process of learning how to love yourself and protecting yourself, I hope I'm able to bring some kind of positivity if you are going through a rough time in your relationship. And if you're still in the process of getting to know your self-worth, just know that you're almost there and you got this. And in time, you'll know exactly what you want. I just really wanted to say that you are loved, you are valued, you are important, and you deserve all the happiness in the world, and you will find someone who will respect and love you just as much as you do for them. No buts, no ifs, just all love. Okay guys, so before I go, I just really wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, that bell button. If you could, go ahead and like this video as well and comment and let me know what you guys think.